Recording has been started. Trademark introduction. दृश्यम सर.
यस सर, बोलिए.
इंट्रोड्यूस कर दीजिए.
ओके. So good evening friends. So today we are starting with back to basics quick revision lecture for topic number 9, Indian political thought. So in this is a part 1 of the video. We'll try to do it in 3 different parts. In the first part today, we'll try to do whether Indian political thought exists or not. It's the nature of the Indian political thought as criticism of West and defense by Eastern scholars. And I think if time permits, we'll go on to Dharma Shastra, Arthashastra and Buddhist thought. ठीक है, स्टार्ट करते हैं.
ओके सर. Indian political thought. Actually, in UPSC syllabus here we shall study Indian political thought and its origin.
एक बार सिलेबस के टॉपिक पढ़ लो ना एक बार. अगर किसी को पता हो तो पढ़ लो सिलेबस के टॉपिक्स.
सिलेबस में टॉपिक नंबर 9 है इंडियन पॉलिटिकल थॉट, जिसमें है पहले धर्मशास्त्र, फिर अर्थशास्त्र, फिर बुद्धिस्ट ट्रेडिशंस, फिर है सर सैयद अहमद खान, फिर है श्री अरबिंदो, फिर गांधी, फिर अम्बेडकर और लास्ट में एम.एन. रॉय.
ओके, थैंक यू. तो Western had assumed that India lacks political and strategic culture. India only has spiritual wisdom. तो खास करके जॉर्ज टैनहम who tells that India doesn't have any strategic culture. Above describes the West's ethnocentric view, where we shall study that Edward Said had told that in his book Orientalism, he tells that lack of recognition of Indian political thoughts existence so that West had ethnocentric attitude. So why was they having ethnocentric attitude? To uphold their hegemony. Professor V.R. Mehta tells there is a difference in the outlook of West and East. West thinks in dichotomous line. They differentiate between man and society. They also differentiate between nature and culture, as well as politics and ethics. But Indians look things in continuity, never separated the above things. Maurice Jones tells that neglect of Indian political thought will result into impoverishment of the West. So we can also attribute that we were nearer to the mother nature. So actually Maurice Jones' statement is coming true in today's time, because with respect to Western ideas, they are much ahead of us. Still, when they face crisis at individual level or at national level or state level or societal level, they do come to introspect Indian political thought to find this way out. So Max Muller is one of the greatest Indologists. He tells that nowhere in the world human mind has been applied to such an extent to deal with various questions of life. Conclusion: Indian texts like Manusmriti, Kautilya, Arthashastra, Ramayana, Mahabharata, Shukraniti are there. So which will posit that India did have political thought. So what are the features of Indian political thought? Means continuity in ancient and modern thought, ethics, politics, that were not separate. Communitarian, pluralistic, cosmopolitan. Sant Tukaram, entire world is a family. Sant Tukaram tells Non-critical, it is non-optimistic, regressive view of history. Thou we were having regressive view of history because we were not prescribing the things, we were not having any revolutionary ideas which could be used in future. We were not prescribing any end with respect to which have to be achieved by changing the present system. Thou we were having ends. It is wrong to tell that we were not having any aim. We were having, but we were static. Our thoughts were static in nature. Traditions, Bhikkhu Parekh tells there are two traditions, Hindu tradition and Buddhist tradition. In Hindu tradition, we shall study there are two parts, Dharma Shastra and Danda Shastra. Buddhist traditions, we shall observe more continuity than the change, because he terms Buddhism as the rebel child of Hinduism, Vidrohi Bacha. So Hinduism, there are two class, mainly two varnas, Brahmin, Kshatriya. Buddhism was the combination of Kshatriya and Vaishya. Buddhism were more egalitarian due to the position to the caste system itself. Hindu text Dharma Shastra, that is discussion on Dharma is central, and in Danda Shastra discussion on Dharma is peripheral. Actually, both Dharma Shastra and Danda Shastra discusses Dharma as well as Danda. But what differentiates them is that the means which one is tilted in which subject. In Dharma Shastra, there is greater dealing with Dharma in comparison to Danda. In Danda Shastra, there is greater dealing with the Danda in comparison of Dharma. Yeah. What's next? So, Mr. Dev, we should move to the next PDF, that is Manu Smriti, because this was with respect to Indian political thought.
Yes.
Thank you. So, Manu Smriti. First thing first, Manu Smriti is a highly contested and controversial text, because S. Radhakrishnan will appreciate Manu Smriti and Ambedkar will put dynamite to the Smriti and Vedas. Manu Smriti deals with the Dharma Shastra. Manu was the Manas Putra of Brahma, who was the first lawgiver. He gave the dharma of different varnas, means different. So first thing first, there is no translation of dharma word in any of the European language. Though we remember, memorize it like religion, but that is different thing. Dharma is much more than religion. It encompasses a way of life, comprehensive doctrine of things, but religion is just a part of those comprehensive doctrine. Yeah, so actually there were two types of Vedic texts, Shrutis and Smriti. So Manu Smriti is obviously Smriti. Shrutis are also known as Vedas, and Vedas or Shrutis are not the human creation. Veda contain the revealed knowledge. So who revealed this knowledge? So God revealed this knowledge. So that is why it is called revealed knowledge. In Islam we also know Allah revealed the knowledge before Paigambar Muhammad. So Smritis are based on Vedas. One of the most well-known Smriti is Manu Smriti. It is recognized by Britishers as basis for Hindu personal laws when they had subjugated us. So, ठीक है. So, why was Manu created? There was arajakta or anarchy on the earth. That is kind of a state of nature. So people requested Brahma to bring them out of anarchy, and Brahma created Manu. That's why he called as Manas Putra. Manu is the first king or lawgiver. Actually, whatever we are going to study with respect to Manu's idea, with respect to king, so all that will be coming to the divine rights of king. And Manu actually kings who were sponsoring the writing of text, because we had studied yesterday that texts are also political. History is written history is politically written, and text also have context. So the kings were sponsoring these kinds of writing to position their status in the society, to increase their legitimacy. And Brahmin class were writing these things so that both Brahmin and Kshatriya came to form a coalition to rule over the rest of the Varnas. So actually, in the name of Manu, Brahmins were writing these things to give divine attributes to king. And it was held that every king on the planet or in Bharatvarsh was the sons and daughters of Manu, that's Manasputra itself. So in turn, what happened, that they were the creation, or they had direct ascendance from the Brahma itself. That's why, and Brahma had given, and every 7 gods had given their elements, so they have to be followed anyway, because they were god-like things, they were divine, having divine origin. So this is the basic context in which Manu have to be studied. So Dharma discussed in, so if what will happen if we don't follow the Dharma, then if don't follow the Dharma, then it will become catastrophe. In Rig Veda it is written that Prithvim Dharmam Dhritam, means Dharma is which holds the life on the earth. So if we don't follow Dharma or Manu's ideas, then there will become no life on earth. Means pralay aayega. Arajakta will come, anarchy, destruction. In Urdu, it is Qayamat. Dharma discussed in Dharma Shastra, most important is Manu Smriti, Smriti based on Shruti. Shruti was the Veda, they contain revealed knowledge. So what are the idea of, means first origin of a state? No. Before that, we should go into the ideas in Manu Smriti. He has given 4 ideas. Purusarth, with respect to Purusarth, with respect to ashrams, with respect to Varna, and with respect to Sanskar. In every, we have to study 3-4 different things. In Purusartha, 4 goals of life are there: Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. Indians took life in comprehensive manner, neither ignore material nor spiritual features. Ashrams are also 4. These are kind of stages of life: Brahmacharya till 25 years, Grahasth after 25 years, Vanprasth, Sannyas. I am not knowing the exact ages. So 3 is the Varnas: Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. These are the 4 Varnas. Each Varna has to follow Dharma, otherwise catastrophe or Rajakta will come. And what is the duty of king? To ensure that all follow their Dharma. Even this concept of Dharma was utilized in Ramayana and Mahabharata, where kings were to uphold the Dharma. So that Dharma was not with respect to only law and order. Means they had to ensure that the social differentiation on the basis of whatever manner, whether it is economical or political, that people were divided into 4 Varnas: Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. They had to do their assigned duties. So actually Brahmins and Kshatriyas were combining to ensure their rule over the other 2 Varnas by telling that if you if you don't do the duties assigned to your Varna, it means it is adharma, and I will punish you. So this was a subtle way to build hegemony over the rest of the 2 Varnas, which will be countered by Buddhism. So Dharma was only that each Varna had to assign each Varna had to perform their assigned duties according to the texts. That's why Ambedkar will come and tell why should we do that only. Sanskar, there is 16 essential rituals starting from Garbhadharan to Antim Sanskar. So Garbhadharan means when we are in the womb of our mothers. So that is the first Sanskar. फिर Antim Sanskar, direct. So that is there. Yeah. Another thing is that when I might be wrong or right, it is subjected to interpretation. When in Bhagavad Gita, when Sri Krishna tells Arjuna that do your duty, don't think about the result. So actually, motivational speakers or our parents tell us that just study, don't focus on the goal. That is a way like opium is religion, and religion is opium for masses. Means actually, what does Sri Krishna had meant that each varna should do their duty and don't think that what will be result. Means if Shudra is performing menial jobs according to Vaishya or Brahma, according to Vaishya, Kshatriya or Brahman's ideas, so they should be doing, and Shudra should not be believing or not be contemplating about the result. They should just keep focusing on their duties of manual scavenging or scavenging, whatever it was. So that was also a subtle way to maintain the hegemony of Brahmins and upper varnas. But we are reinterpreted, we are told in different manners so that we could have some courage in our efforts. So that brings altogether different meaning. It is debatable, it might be debatable, I might be wrong. Origin of a state with respect to Manu, it is quasi-contractual theory of origin of a state. So how is it contractual? Because people asked Brahma. How it is quasi? Because it was not solely the people's decision. Brahma had come. Means this was a contract between man and God. So origin of a state is mentioned in the chapter 7 of Manusmriti. So chapter 7, don't think too much about chapter 7. There is only mentioning of chapter 7 in our notes. So don't think that we have to remember all the chapters. So just remember chapter 7. So it is mentioned in chapter 7 of Manusmriti. Initially no state was there. There was prevalence of Matsya Nyaya, means big fish was eating a small fish, might is right. Actually Matsya Nyaya was written there. We can also call it as a Jungle Raj. There is might is right is going on. Brahma created Manu, first king and first lawgiver, both. So Manu came and ended the Matsya Nyaya. So we must not disobey king, because disobeying king will again bring the Matsya Nyaya, which we had asked Brahma to do away with. Brahma created Manu, yeah, that's it. So what were features of king? King have divine personality, but he was not having divine rights as it was in West. So we had only divine theory of a state origin of king, but divine only with respect to personality. We shall prove it. King combined Indra, Varuna, Agni, Vayu, Surya, Chandra, Yama, Kuber. So if you will go now, Indra means the Devraj, means king of gods. Varun means water. Agni means fire. Vayu means air. Surya means source of energy. Chandra means Shitalta, breeze, cooling breeze, cool breeze. Yama, death. Kuber means what is that called? Money, whatever it is. So by means all these gods, 7 gods, had given their part of elements of their personality to king. Actually here Manu want to tell that if the people will not.
Sir, Kuber means wealth.
Yeah, wealth. Thank you. So if people don't follow king, then king will punish by becoming Yama. If king is happy, then he will become Kuber and make you prosperous. If you go against the king, dharma, then king become Agni and will burn. A king is also God, because he is the most powerful person and he is the coordinator. He can means actually Manu was creating an aura, and he was trying to justify every action of king. every action of king. He was just in the name of divine personality. He was building hegemony of the king, institution of king. King were under law, follow Rajadharma. At least one institutions of limit was there that he had to be under Rajadharma, which was absent in Western ideas. If king does not follow, king will go to hell. King is to be free. He had also prescribed outrightly that king has to be from Kshatriya Varna and kinship was hereditary. Kingship was hereditary. So actually, these texts were being written by Purohit and Brahmin class. So Brahmins will benefit out of their writings in this way when he will posit Kshatriya Varna as the ruler. So actually, this was a kind of coalition being built. Yeah, so what are the duties of king? At least king had some duties. So the duties which we are going to study, we shall see that some of the duties also will lead to welfare state types of things. So we can put those ideas in our GS2 or ethics paper. So not all the duties will be like that. The duties of the king: follow Kshatriya dharma, that is war is his dharma. Have knowledge of Vedas, respect Brahmins. We can clearly visualize these things. Wake up early, don't sleep during daytime. क्या मजा आएगा? Don't indulge in hunting, gambling, drinking, dancing. Construct public utility, take care of orphans and destitutes. This is the point which I was referring to. Point number 6 means he had to construct public utility, take care of orphans, destitutes. Help people to achieve Yogkshema, that is to achieve what they don't have, protect what they have. Means people should make their subjects able to achieve what they don't have and what they want and protect what they already have. And he has to do Rakshan and Palan. First they have to protect and they have also to nurture. Punishment according to Shastras was also to be given by king because he was also part of Yama and King Indra. And these were the authority, and he will use Varuna, Agni, Vayu, etc. kinds of elements to inflict punishment. That was the means. So according to Shastra, less for higher. It was an inverse method of punishment. Means for the same crime, higher Varna will get less punishment and lower Varna will get more punishment. So features of kingship, yeah, ho gaya. Features. No concept of equality before law was there. Higher the Varna, lower is the punishment. We had dealt with it. Principle of taxation was based upon the fertility of land. More fertile, more tax. So here it sees, we see the kinds of equitable taxations. Little bit shadow of progressive taxation. King has share in other commodity like honey, butter, which are traded. So these were the commodity of exchange. So there also they were gaining this. A women are kept under supervision of men. So it is highly, so we have two criticism of Manusmriti in particular. First is from Ambedkar in the name of Varna and Dharma concept. Second is women also criticized because they told that women are to be kept under supervision of men. So altogether unacceptable. So ठीक है, that's in there in Manusmriti. Radha Krishnan were praising as admirer, and Ambedkar wanted to put dynamite on Vedas and Manusmriti. I think he has also burned the Manusmriti. These are with respect to Manusmriti. Mr. Dev. Mr.
Yes,
Dev.
sir. Yes, sir.
Should we move to Kautilya?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
सर अपन ने जो दो पीडीएफ कर रहे हैं, can we revise it, quick summary, quick keywords, and we should give a chance to others if they want to add anything.
Yeah, because Kautilya and Buddha.
Sir, are you revising or should we move?
Okay. I think, should I revise or somebody will add value? Or after doing Kautilya, we should revise?
ज्यादा हो जाएगा फिर वो एक साथ सब कुछ हो
Okay.
जाएगा.
Okay.
बस कीवर्ड्स बता दो, ज्यादा जरूरत नहीं डीप में आने की. मेन
ठीक
कीवर्ड्स
है.
बस.
Okay. So first, Indian political thought. Tanham tells that India lacks political and strategic culture, and India only has. Am I audible?
Yes, we can hear.
Yes, sir, please go on.
Okay. Assumed George Tanham had told that India lacks political and strategic culture. India has only spiritual wisdom. Politics is this worldly, but India thinks of otherworldly. But V.R. Mehta tells no, there is a difference in the outlook of West and East. And Edward Said will tell that it is West's ethnocentric view. V.R. Mehta will also give I give the idea that we don't see the things in dichotomous line, but we see the things in continuity. He gives the example of man and society, nature and culture, politics and ethics. Maurice Jones tells neglect of Indian political thought will result into impoverishment of West. Max Muller, he regarded the greatest Indologist, so he tells that nowhere in the world human mind has been applied to such an extent to deal with various questions of life. Features, there is continuity in ancient and modern thought, ethics, politics, not separate, communitarian, pluralistic, cosmopolitan. Sant Tukaram's idea of entire world is family or Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. But we are non-critical, non-optimistic, regressive view of history we take. Traditions of ancient Indian political thought goes like this. Bhikkhu Parikh has analyzed it. A Hindu tradition, Dharma Shastra, Danda Shastra, Buddhist traditions, more continuity with respect to Hindu tradition itself, and less changes is there. Buddhism is called rebel child of Hinduism. Hinduism was a combination of domination of Brahmin and Kshatriya. Buddhism was domination of Kshatriya and Vaishya. Buddhism were more egalitarian due to a position of caste system. A Hindu text, Dharma Shastra, Danda Shastra. In Dharma Shastra, discussion on Dharma more central, and discussion on Dharma is peripheral in Danda Shastra. That's it. With respect to ये कहाँ आ गया मैं with respect to Manu Smriti Dharmashastra, Manu was Manasputra of Brahma, first lawgiver, first king. Dharma means no word in European languages. Rigveda Pratvam Dharmam Dhritam means Dharma holds life on earth. Don't follow Dharma, catastrophe will come, Arajakta will come. Manu Smriti Smriti itself is based on Shruti. Shruti is the revealed knowledge. Their ideas in Manu Smriti: Purushartha 4, Dharma, Arth, Kama, Moksha; Ashram 4, Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas; Varna 4, Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra; Sanskar 16, गर्भधान संस्कार से अंतिम संस्कार. Origin of the state, quasi-contractual theory of origin, contract between man and God, mentioned in chapter 7. Ideally, no state was there, Matsya was there. The Brahma created Manu, first king, first lawgiver. Features of kingship: divine personality, 7 elemental gods, 7 elements from the 7 gods: Indra, Varuna, Agni, Vayu, Surya, Chandra, Yama, Kuber. So, but only divine personality of the king, no divine rights of the king. He had to be under the Raj Dharma. King will go to hell, and only from if they don't follow Raj Dharma, and king has to be from Kshatriya Varna. Duties of king: follow Kshatriya Dharma, war is his dharma, have knowledge of Vedas, respect Brahmins, wake up early, don't sleep during daytime, don't indulge in hunting, gambling, drinking, dancing, construct public utility, take care of orphans, destitute, help people to achieve Yogachem, Rakshan and Palan, punishment according to Shastras, which was inversely proportional. No concept of equality before law, higher the Varna, lower is the punishment, principle of taxation based on the fertility of the land. More fertile, more tax. King has to share in commodities also, honey, butter. Women are to be kept under supervision of men. admired by Manusmriti was admired by Radhakrishnan, B.R. Ambedkar criticized, put dynamite, feminist criticized. So we should move to Kautilya. Is it
wants
so?
to add
Yeah.
ओपी गौबा में कुछ अलग दिया है क्या, फिर इग्नोर के नोट्स में किसी ने पढ़ा हो या फिर कोई वीडियो देखा है, उन के नोट्स में कुछ दिया है क्या? जिसने भी पढ़ा हो, थोड़ा बहुत मेहनत करी हो, बता दो यार, शेयर करो कुछ ना कुछ तो।
आज भी हिंदू पर्सनल लॉ में मनुस्मृति का यूज हो रहा है, तो इसको कैसे जस्टिफाई करेंगे?
If it is against the human rights, dignity of human being, which is enshrined in our preamble and our constitutional values, and if it is against our constitutional morality, we should not justify it. Why should we justifying if it is unjustifiable according to the constitutional spirit?
But the case is because in India, still different religions are following their personal law ना, यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड तो लगा नहीं है, तो हिंदू पर्सनल लॉ में अभी भी मनुस्मृति पर ही बेस्ड है ना।
Even we can't say that it is totally based on or comprehensively based on Manusmriti. Thou Manusmriti might be a part to analyze those traditions, in addition to other Hindu texts or Sanskritic texts. But whenever there is a question or whenever there is a confrontation, so our constitutional morality will prevail, and our Supreme Court judgments have time and again proved this. Those traditions, those Manusmriti based ideas are not sacrosanct, but our constitutional values are sacrosanct. They are prevailing. They might be prevailing. Since we are a progressive society now, and Constitution of India is an enabling document and revolutionary document with respect to social revolution, so the things will be things of past, and that should be like that. If they are against the concept of human dignity, right to equality, dignity of woman, or right equality before law, or right rule of law, so those will be discarded and those must be discarded. If it is prevailing, that is means we are still, that is what we call Rudolf tells that the India, that is what F.W. Riggs tells, that there is heterogeneity in developing world. Both modernity and traditions are coexisting, but we are moving towards modernity. That's it.
Thank you.
Anything else?
मैं उनलियास के नोट्स देख रहा था, जो पीपीटी मैंने शेयर करी थी ना, इट मोर और लेस 100% सेम ही है जो ये मैम के नोट्स कर रहे हैं अपन।
He has just typed in PPT format the complete ma'am's notes without even eliminating a single statement.
करेक्ट, कीवर्ड्स भी सारे सेम है, मतलब कि कुछ एक्स्ट्रा भी वैलिडेशन लग नहीं रहा है मेरे को उसमें।
Sir, he has not escaped even a single sentence. That is complete notes of ma'am.
ठीक है, चलो
ओपी गवा भी कुछ ऐसा है नहीं, वो तो पॉलिटिकल थ्योरी से रिलेटेड वो बुक है, और आईपीटी तो उसमें नहीं है, तो आई डोंट थिंक कि
There is a book altogether. There is a new book by Opigawa, Indian Political Thought.
ओके
A small book. I think it is 200 pages around something. But that is also very heavy. He also analyze these things. So, but yeah.
एक्चुअली इवन दो हैवी, अगर ऐसे बुक्स में से सिर्फ समरी वगैरह भी देख ली जाए ना थोड़ी थोड़ी, मतलब हर
Yeah.
चैप्टर के आगे पीछे नहीं होता इंट्रो और लास्ट में थोड़ा समराइज करते हैं, वैसा भी कुछ मिल जाए तो, बट ठीक है, आई थिंक वी शुड मूव ऑन फॉर नाउ। कुछ ऐड करना है किसी को?
बोलते हैं कि Manu is known to be an early exponent of the divine origin of kingship theory. However, Manu's view in this behalf should not be confused with the Western theory of divine right of the king as enunciated in early modern times. Western view tells that human monarch as an agent of God and as a source of law itself, while and they also tell that king can do no wrong. But in in Manu's king was not the source of law. He was under the law, which was revealed by the Brahma, God. King's person which were having the 7 personalities, like Indra, Lord of Heaven, Sun, the radiance of the sun, Yama, the Lord of Death, Kuber, the Lord of Riches, pleasantness of the moon. So means king was only at best only representative of God, who was subject to the supremacy of dharma, like any other human being. The idea of dharma is close to the standard of righteousness. इससे ज़्यादा है नहीं. I think we should move ahead. Should we? Am I audible?
यस सर।
करना है ना?
Yes, sir.
कर दो, स्क्रीन दिख नहीं रही है।
Screen is gone. Side screen has been misplaced.
Screen नहीं दिख रही है?
No, sir.
Okay. दिख रही है क्या?
No, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
नहीं. Okay, sir.
Now visible. Kautilya.
ओके सर।
दिख रहा है क्या सब लोग को?
या स्क्रीन दिख रहा है, वो उस पर कंटेंट अभी नहीं आया।
मेरे को तो नहीं दिख रहा स्क्रीन, बाकी लोग को दिख रहा है क्या? अदर्स?
दिख रहा है।
यस
बट कोई नहीं सर, पढ़ना स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं, हम लोग सुन रहे हैं तब तक। बीच में चला गया था पहले भी है।
ओके,
अरे मतलब अभी है ना स्क्रीन पे, ये पूछ रहा हूँ मैं सब बाकी लोग को।
नहीं स्क्रीन सिर्फ इज विजुअल, उस पर कंटेंट नहीं है। ठीक है,
हम अभी क्या करने वाले वैसे?
कौटिल्य।
अच्छा ठीक है।
फिर से